Hello guys, Furball the Hammy, your friendly neighborhood hamsters, back again for another Hypixel Skyblock video. So let's take a break from some serious content that I've been posting for the past few days regarding Slayers, and for today let's backtrack on the good old days of Slayers when Slayers first came out. So yeah, I believe Slayers back then when it was first released was a lot more worse than it is currently now, although currently I believe Hypixel Skyblock could work a lot more on Slayers to improve its player experience. I will make a separate video regarding that in a future video. However, for today, let's just reminisce about the good old days when Slayers was first released. So yeah, and because of that, today's video topic would be 5 things only OG Slayer grinders will remember. So be sure to comment down in the comment section below if you know all 5 of these things I mentioned in today's video. And if you do, go down to the comment section and comment hashtag OG Slayers. So without further ado, let's begin with the video. Number 1. Savan used to be the easiest boss. Yes, surprise surprise, Savan used to be the easiest boss when it first came out. Back then, Savan didn't even have an ultimate attack that will pull you towards him if you've been outside of its attack range. As you know, in today's Hypixel Skyblock, if you don't get hit by Savan for a while, it will either regenerate or sometimes it will do this ultimate pull attack that does massive damage which drags you towards Savan. However, back in the days when Skyblock was first released, it didn't have this pulling ultimate attack whatsoever. So back then, you could just go up on the vine in the castle, crouch and sit on the vine and just left click Savan, while coming down from the vines for the occasional hit from Savan to prevent Savan from regenerating back to full health. And Savan used to be, hands down, the easiest boss in Hypixel Skyblock Slayers. Number 2. Item changes. After the developers caught on to the big brain skyblockers who use vines that destroy Savan easily, they added an ultimate attack, and for a while, the only way to beat tier 4 Savan easily would be to use Massive Armor or to use the water kiting skill, I guess. However, back then, Massive Armor was freaking Wolf 6, and I, as well as your other OG Slayer grinders, used tier 3 Savans or those more gutsy players use tier 4s with water kiting to get to Wolf 6. Just to get Mastiff. And back then, the Pooch sword didn't even exist. We only had the Shaman sword. So yeah, we were basically doing 20,000 damage in Mastiff, and yes, we had to kill 2 million health Savans with that pathetic damage with a Shaman sword and Mastiff Armor. And now that it's been moved down to Wolf 4, by that I mean Mastiff Armor, and the Pooch sword has been added. So yeah, there are also some other items that have been swapped in positions. For example, the Reaper Falchion, which used to be level 7, but it was dropped to zombie level 6 a few weeks in. Same goes for the Wand of Restoration, which used to be level 7, but dropped to level 6 zombie. The Voodoo Doll used to be level 6, but was also dropped to level 5. So before I move on to the next OG things that only OG players will remember, be sure to subscribe and to like the video, because 75% of you guys are still unsubscribed to my channel, and I will tell you why you want to subscribe. Because at 10,000 subscribers, I will be doing 1000 tier 4 Revenants or 2500 tier 3 Tarantulas, and that will be up to you, yes, the one who is watching this video, to decide it. When I eventually reach 10k subscribers, I'll put up a community poll and you guys can vote on it. Although I secretly know all of you guys want me to do 1000 tier 4 Revenants to see me lose coins, you sadistic children. Number 3. Back then, double or even triple drops didn't exist. Did you know back then you could only get 1 drop, which will be webs, teeth or flesh, and if you did get lucky, let's say you get an item like a bite rune, you would just get the bite rune. No tarantula web. Yes, back then, base drops weren't a thing. You could only get 1 item from Slayers and only 1. Currently in Hypixel Skyblock, you could get 2 items rather commonly, the basic Toxic Arrow Poisons or your 20% drops, plus Tarantula Web or plus whatever base drop you get from doing Slayers. And sometimes you could even get 3 items with base drops, the Rare Drop and the Rare Rune. Fun fact, you cannot get more than 3 drops at once. The best you can get is a Rune, a Rare Drop and a base drop. Also, another fun fact, Magic Find does not work on 20% and 5% drops. Miniclune has confirmed that in a conversation which was screenshotted. So yeah, be sure to take note of that if you guys are wondering why my Magic Find isn't increasing my Toxic Arrow drop chance whatsoever. And also, please be glad that back then, if you got a Bite Rune or you rolled a Bite Rune, you wouldn't even get Tarantula Web along with it. meaning that if you did get the 5% runes, you basically wasted your coins on getting something that's barely worth anything. And now, moving on to number 4, 20% drops and fly swatters used to be the worst garbage drops in Slayers. Back then, toxic arrow poisons and foul flesh was a meme. Not only couldn't you sell those items to the NPC back then, you would get these garbage 20% drops without even the base drops of Tarantula Web, Revenant Flesh or Wolf Teeth, and it was some absolute garbage back then. Same goes for the 20% drops as well as the fly swatters. In fact, back then, you couldn't even sell anything regarding to Slayers. So you modern Slayer Day grinders better appreciate that those toxic arrow poisons you got from a Tarantula boss are actually worth something today, because back then, they were worth absolutely nothing. And fly swatters were worth like 200,000 coins back then, but now they are worth 500,000 coins when sold to the NPC. So you guys should be really happy, because I feel that this update, which actually made 20% drops sellable and made fly swatter sellable, that was hands down the best quality of life update I have ever seen regarding Slayers, because it made 20% drops actually worth more than the base drops. Back then, 20% drops except for hamster wheels were worth less than the wolf teeth, the revenant flesh and the tarantula web that you will get. So yeah, you guys should be really happy, and because of that update, it made Slayers a lot more profitable. Although, I mean, shortly afterwards, the Bazaar did kill it, but yeah, Slayers was a lot more profitable because of this update for a short while. Moving on to the final fact of the day, number 5. Raid mini bosses used to be so much stronger. Raid mini bosses such as mutant tarantulas, alphas, and the deformed revenants, which are summoned randomly when you are trying to summon a tier 4 boss, used to be way stronger. In fact, it was so bad that people with superior dragon armor back then will get 2-shot by mutant tarantulas, and being 1-shot by an alpha back then wasn't surprising. Back then, raid mini bosses were truly stronger than the actual bosses that was summoned. However, a few months later, an update was rolled which nerfed the damage of these raid mini bosses, and now you get 5 or 6 hitted by a mutant tarantula with superior if you don't use lifesteal, and alphas don't instantly eviscerate you and knock you off orbit in 1 second. And now, because of the nerf, the deformed revenants, which used to be manageable in the past, are now a piece of joke. So yeah, you guys better appreciate what you have in Slayers today, because back in my days, Slayers used to be so much tougher and so much less rewarding. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you already know all 5 of these OG things, be sure to comment down in the comment section below, #OGSlayers. And with that, let me end off with my famous quote. A Slayer a day keeps the /G kit command away, so be sure to do your daily Slayers. And this is Furball the Hammy, your friendly neighborhood Slayer maniac, signing out.